Hello everyone, and welcome once again to Caleb Blake's Books. Today I have another book haul for you for the month of October of 2024. I have 5 things here to talk about. I got a trilogy, I got a few books in some series, and things like that. I have one that's not technically part of a book, it's not technically a book that I got this month, but I'm including it. I got a few things to talk about here. So, first things first, the big one that I'm going to get out of the way because I'm actually already reading this month, and by the time this video comes out, probably will either be reading it or already have finished it, is The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson. This one was going straight onto my TBR for November, and so I don't really feel like I need to talk about this one much because I've already talked about it recently. But I've been looking forward to getting this one for a while, and I waited until it was out in mass market paperback because all my other Era 2 books of Mistborn are in mass market paperback, and so I wanted them all to match, and I didn't mind waiting for it. So I got that in October. The next thing that I got is one of the also, I think, most exciting things that I got in this book haul, which is the first 3 books of The Expanse by James S.A. Corey. I was very happy to get these. I got this as well as The Lost Metal. I all got at Bull Moose, which is where I like to get my books a lot of the time if I can. They typically don't have The Expanse used, and if they do, it's usually only the first book. And I went in there one time this month, and they had all 3 of the first 3 books used, so I was very happy about that. Back when I started watching BookTube, because back then that's kind of how I started looking for recommendations for stuff to read. That is a series that was one that really caught my attention because everybody said good things about it, and so I've been looking forward to reading it for a long time. But you know, they don't often have it used where I go to look. They usually only have it new, and usually it's like $15 or $20, and I was like, I don't feel like spending that much, so I was able to get all 3 of these for like $20, which I was very happy about. So looking forward to reading those. I'm probably going to maybe start The Expanse next year, potentially. I have a lot of other series that I want to start next year, but I may add that to the list if I have time for it. The next thing that I have to talk about is Harry Potter. I got the first and the 3rd book in Harry Potter at the grocery store that now I used to work at. I actually left there this month, but at that grocery store they have a book donation bin where people can donate books and you can pick them up. They had the 1st and 3rd Harry Potter books there, as well as some other books that I'm going to talk about here in a minute. They didn't have the 2nd one, unfortunately, but I have read a little bit of Harry Potter. I've listened to some of the audiobooks. My wife is a big Harry Potter fan, especially the movies, but she likes the books as well, and she has spent a lot of time with me listening to the audiobooks in the car and stuff like that. So I have listened to a decent chunk of like the first 4 Harry Potter books. Not all the way through, but a good probably half or so of each book, I would guess. And so I've been wanting to get like physical copies so I could actually read them and all that stuff. And they had number 1 and number 3, so I figured I'd pick them up. So I will probably try to pick up some more books in this series at some point if I can. And it's a pretty popular series, so I'm sure I'll be able to find plenty of used copies out and about, so that shouldn't really be any big issue for me. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, I have another thing that I bought used from the grocery store that I worked at, but I'm going to save that till last because that is a very out of left field pickup for me. So first I'm going to talk about the thing that is kind of book haul but not really, and that is The Tale of Despero, I think by Kate DiCamillo. This I'm counting because I have added it to my home library. Well, it's not technically a library, but you know, my home collection. This is one that I actually had as a kid, and I went over to my parents' house to try to find some stuff lately, some of my old things that they still had, and I was looking through and I found a lot of my old books that I had as a kid, and this one I remember being a particular favorite. I read it for school. And so my parents got me a copy of it as a gift, and for some reason I just never read it again, and so I was thinking maybe sometime I'd like to read this one again, as well as some other school books that I read. I'd like to give another try and see what I think of them now. So this is one that's not technically like a book haul because I didn't buy it, but it's one that I added to my collection that I have at home. I thought it might be fun to read sometime. I remember really liking it a lot when I read it as a kid, but that was years ago. It was like 3rd or 4th grade. It was a long time ago. So I am curious what I would think of it now. Maybe I'd enjoy it. The last thing that I have to talk about here is a very unusual pickup for me, which it'll be interesting. And I am planning to at least try these, but it's not something that I would normally go for. So again, the grocery store that I worked at had the book donation bin, and alongside Harry Potter, they had the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy. And I was like, oh, maybe I should get this because it would be funny. And so I did. I have seen the 50 Shades movies before. So it was interesting. So I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous, but I picked them up. I was like, hey, I like to read some kind of thematic stuff during certain months. In February, I might want to read something romancy. Maybe I'll read the first book in February. It's a very unusual pick for me, for sure. I don't really know why I did it, but I did. So that is now a part of my collection, which is interesting. So anyway, I will read them sometime, at least the first one, and we'll see how it goes. I don't really know what to expect from it. I mean, I know what to expect because, I've seen the movie. I know what the book is, but I don't know whether to expect if I will enjoy it or not. I don't expect to enjoy it, but I mean, it could surprise me, I guess. So that is kind of my really random, out of left field pick that I got this month. So that's pretty much all I got for you in this book haul. Let me know in the comments what you think of the books that I got. If you've read any of them before or anything. I'm sure plenty of you have probably read Harry Potter and things like that. And I know The Expanse is also very popular and stuff. So let me know if you've read any of these before and which ones you're excited to hear my thoughts on. And if you got anything cool during the month of October as well, let me know in the comments. So that's pretty much it for this video. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.